Hi everyone, this is my version of 3 takeaways after my first live online teaching experience. Initially, the hardest thing for me was talking to my cats rather than looking into my students' eyes. It was hard to maintain my enthusiasm when I'm sitting in my kitchen talking to thin air and there was no response from the students. I like to add humor to my classes, and humor is useless if no one is responding. It was hard to not see people and to get responses in my first few classes. So that was my initial, how am I ever going to make this work? Takeaway 2, however, was that as the class progressed and I learned how to use group discussions and interactive assignments, the students were more comfortable with each other and enjoyed the activities. I had the students provide feedback each week so that I was constantly seeking their input and constantly working to change what I was doing to make it a better experience for the students. And some of those activities were your traditional group activities, discussion questions, but I did have them write sometimes on the whiteboard. I would just post a question and they would respond on the whiteboard, and they seemed to like that. I also had guest speakers a few different times with follow-up discussions. And I learned better how to use the groups and change the leaders of the groups and add moderators. And so by the end of the 7 weeks, it seemed to be a better experience for everybody. My third takeaway from this experience is that you have to be organized, or at least I have to be organized. I could never wing it. Not that I ever thought to go into class unprepared, but I just could never do it. I had information, background information, questions, links, responses to students' questions, all incorporated into the PowerPoint that I would upload into Collaborate. I just worked hard to provide that structured experience for the students so that they knew what questions had to be answered, what had to be read, when their quiz was going to be online, and it was all timed the same for every week. The students even suggested more discussion topics following some of our activities so that I would do it differently the next time. But the organization was one of the keys to making this work. As I mentioned earlier, I had the students provide input to me weekly and then worked to incorporate their suggestions. And after the last class, I asked them one more time, would they provide their input? And so these are some of the comments that they made during the last gathering of thoughts on the class. It was a challenge both for the students and for me in this experience. Many of them came in saying, I don't want an online class. But in the end, you see that I improved, they appreciated it, they seemed to get from the class what they had hoped to get from the class. So in the end, it was a positive experience. Thank you very much.